This is Attorney Moon Jong-Tak. Last time, I uploaded both the Korean and English versions of the Kim Soo-hyun incident video. Thank you for showing a lot of interest. Actor Kim Soo-hyun is ultimately on MBC's variety show Good Day, right? He was completely edited out. Now, it remains to be seen what Disney Plus will do. I wasn't really interested in who Kim Soo-hyun was dating. That's the actor's private life, and who they date is their personal freedom. However, dating a minor is a different story. That's why from now on, I'll refer to Garosero Research Institute as Gasehyun. Gasehyun continues to claim that Kim Soo-hyun dated Kim Se-ron since she was 15. This is not a trivial matter. They kept criticizing in this manner. The claim that Kim Soo-hyun dated Kim Se-ron when she was a minor was the reason for Kim Soo-hyun's downfall. However, evidence contradicting the relationship between Kim Soo-hyun and Kim Se-ron keeps emerging. So, as a lawyer, I said I would wait for the investigation results and evaluate after the facts are confirmed regarding whether he dated a minor or not. Since I am a specialized lawyer in matters like provisional injunctions against video publication, broadcast bans, and defamation, I was also cautious about witch hunting. In opposition to Gasehyun, who is known as the entertainment president, journalist Lee Jin-ho, an entertainment reporter, is said to be fighting with them. Gasehyun claimed that Kim Soo-hyun dated Kim Se-ron from 2016 to 2020, but Lee Jin-ho stated that during that time, Kim Soo-hyun was dating someone else, who was presumably an adult. Gasehyun released what they called the 2016 Dakdoritang incident. Dori is a Japanese word, and the correct term should be dakbokum-tang. Anyway, when the chicken dish was made, Kim Soo-hyun was not dating Kim Se-ron, but rather someone else. He was on leave, invited to a house where he lived with his family, ordered delivery food, and that was all. In this manner, Mr. Lee Jin-woo is representing Kim Soo-hyun's side and making these claims. In fact, the video of them eating chicken stew didn't show them engaging in any physical intimacy or sexual acts, and just from eating that dish, you can't conclude that they engaged in sexual acts or were dating. Videos shot with an iPhone are usually saved in MOV format, but this video is in MP4, and the resolution and aspect ratio are different from an iPhone. Such claims are also being made. This is something for the investigative authorities to clarify. Neither Kim Si-hee from Gaseong Entertainment, nor Lee Jin-ho from Entertainment Distribution are investigative authorities or institutions. They're just YouTubers. These days, they seem to have become almost like clickbait YouTubers. One side is almost at the level of insulting Kim Se-ron, while the other side keeps dissing Kim Soo-hyun, seemingly trying to bring him down. They seem to continue because people find it entertaining, but Kim Se-il is a former MBC reporter, and he calls himself a political YouTuber. But right now, there's an early presidential election in South Korea. Since this is the most crucial moment for the fate of South Korea, I hope he returns to being the political YouTuber he claimed to be and focuses more on current affairs issues in South Korea. In my video as well, many people criticized Kim Se-hyun based solely on the initial claims by Gasehyun, believing that Kim Se-hyun was a minor when they dated. Now, however, evidence from the Gasehyun side is being questioned for having incorrect timing. There are also reports coming out about errors and that Ari is abroad, so the situation is ongoing. It seems appropriate to wait for the investigation results from the authorities before making a decision. The investigation has begun. Once forensic analysis is done, all the dates of the photos will be revealed and the truth will come out. If waiting for that is too difficult, then that's wrong. Currently, there are many subscribers, and on the English version, overseas, however, subscribers have also been leaving comments in English or their Aoe own languages. In the translations, there are comments asking if there is no presumption of innocence in South Korea, whether the claims are based on solid evidence, and pointing out that other celebrities have committed suicide due to such malicious comments, questioning if this isn't too much. The so-called witch hunt and mob mentality culture is a bad practice that needs to disappear. Condemning people based on assumptions, and especially publicly witch-hunting celebrities, has led to many celebrity suicides. As I mentioned in the previous video, Kim Soo-hyun's side should have filed for an injunction to prohibit the posting of these malicious videos by Gasehyun and others. That way, the spread and continuation of rumors would be prevented. Since a law firm has been hired, I suggest discussing the possibility of filing for an injunction to prohibit the posting of these videos with a lawyer. For reference, as you can see, I have not only banned broadcasts on MBC and SBS, but also taken down many videos from attention-seeking YouTubers. Please take note of this. Even if Gasehyun or the so-called president of entertainment are attention-seeking YouTubers, they have 460,000 subscribers. The channel A Lawyer You Know features lawyer Lee Ji-yoon, who refers to herself as Abyeon as a short form. I will refer to her as Abyeon. Abyeon claimed that the cause of Kim Se-ron's suicide was Kim Soo-hyun. She also mentioned that there is a lot of evidence that Kim Soo-hyun could only see Kim Se-ron as new. So did Kim Soo-hyun approach Kim Se-ron when she was a minor? It was said definitively that Kim Se-ron committed suicide because she was groomed and gaslighted by Kim Soo-hyun and thus trapped in that world. My acquaintance mentioned that there was significant criticism regarding this statement. Abyeon, if you look at the comments on your channel, you will be able to gauge public opinion. How can you definitively claim that Kim Se-ron committed suicide because she was groomed or gaslighted by actor Kim Soo-hyun. Isn't that just speculation? The bigger issue is that Abyeon seems to grade people if they disagree with your thoughts. Are these grades from 1 to 9, like school grades? If someone opposes your words, they are graded as a 9. It's impossible to improve. You shouldn't engage with such people. I heard you even used expressions like trash. Honestly, I don't really pay much attention to what Abyeon says or does with their subscribers on their channel. The issue is that Abyeon, attorney Lee Ji-hoon, claims to be a lawyer and is known as a lawyer among acquaintances. I am a director at the Korean Bar Association, so I have to pay attention to matters related to the legal profession. Yesterday, I saw that attorney Go Sang-rok, known as Jin Gyeok's Go Byeon, was criticizing Abyeon in the algorithm, so I watched it. I looked into the survey because of the existing statements by the known attorney and the issues raised, especially regarding the survey. You see this? If this was done not by Abyeon, but by the channel's producer for views or what is commonly referred to as clickbait, then there might be an issue with this person. I strongly recommend that you review this for your own sake. If you look at the content, it says a 33-year-old man is conducting a survey about the psychology of dating a 19-year-old female student, claiming it helps develop critical thinking. The survey options are set up to choose 1 out of 4 answers. What is this? Because he's a pervert, because he's in love, because he doesn't appeal to women his own age, because it's cost effective. People have to choose an answer from the 4 options. Do you think they will select the in love theory? The answer is already predetermined. Looking at the results, over 60% are clicking on the because he's a pervert option. So, are you trying to claim that actor Kim Soo-hyun met Kim Se-ro because he doesn't appeal to women his own age, or because he's a pervert, or because Kim Se-ro is cost effective? Words come from thoughts, right? Moreover, on the internet, where an unspecified large number of people can see, a 33-year-old man meeting a 19-year-old who is an adult with a 12-year age difference seems to be specifically used as a metaphor. The reason is that such an achievement comes from thoughts like being a pervert, not appealing to women his own age, or cost-effectiveness. In conclusion, they are leading questions suggesting that Kim Soo-hyun met someone because he's a pervert or doesn't appeal to women his age. The most absurd claim is that he met someone because of cost-effectiveness, which is ridiculous considering Kim Soo-hyun is a billionaire. The idea that he met someone because of cost-effectiveness is also an insult to Kim Se-hyun. Hello. Today is a pleasant Friday afternoon. You know that distinctive nasal sound, which in pure Korean is somewhat referred to as ikbung sound, right? It sounds a bit crude, but when written in Chinese characters, it seems more cultured, whereas in Korean, it sounds derogatory, which is a bit unfortunate. Anyway, with that nasal sound, you say today is a pleasant Thursday. You always mention a pleasant day of the week. It seems like it was just before you opened your practice, looking for an office, and doing the interior, which I remember seeing through the algorithm. As a lawyer who also opened a practice, I watched your YouTube diligently, subscribed, and supported you while preparing to open your practice, but it seems you've lost a lot of your initial mindset. I don't personally know lawyer Lee Ji-hoon, also known as Abyeon, therefore, I have no intention of criticizing him personally. I have no intention of getting involved in the ongoing disputes between lawyer Go and lawyer Abyeon. However, as a lawyer and a director of the Korean Bar Association, I must say that such surveys are quite risky. As you know, this kind of behavior can violate the maintenance of a lawyer's dignity. There are disciplinary cases, so please refer to them. Regarding the spreading of humanities, which you mentioned as Aryu no, I fully support it. However, while discussing no and talking about dignity, if you categorize people into 9 grades and evaluate them, shouldn't you first maintain your own dignity? A lawyer's job is to impeach the credibility of evidence. I just came back from a criminal trial. A lawyer's work involves challenging the admissibility of evidence, denying its probative value, and impeaching its credibility. You've been in military legal affairs for a long time, serving as a military prosecutor, and also prosecuting defendants, so both. You and I have been lawyers for over 10 years. Having been a lawyer for a long time, we tend to look at whether the defendant is unjustly accused, but it seems you were too quick to judge and only focused on condemning. Was it revealed that all the evidence submitted by Gaseon is credible? Gaseon, can you see? It's a photo that was released claiming to be taken at a ski resort between 2015 and 2016 with Kim Soo-hyun and the late Kim Se-ron. It was revealed that it was actually taken in 2020 at a ski resort with employees from gold medalist Source Company. They have already concluded that they dated a minor, and they are bringing in much later photos, claiming they were taken when they were minors. Because of this confirmation bias, it appears as if they dated when they were minors. When falsehoods are revealed in the evidence, the connected evidence and the credibility of the source are shaken. Gaseon is neither an investigative agency nor a judicial body. Yet they are targeting an individual and conducting a witch hunt which could unjustly accuse someone. In the case of Kim Soo-hyun, who is being publicly criticized, it seems problematic for a lawyer with a YouTube channel with nearly 500,000 subscribers to attack using unverified evidence. If Kim Soo-hyun dated Kim Soo-hoon when he was a minor, as I mentioned in a previous video, it would not be punishable under the revised criminal law, but that is a matter of criminal punishment. Morally, it should be criticized and condemned. However, it is very dangerous to attack with certainty when the evidence from Gyodae has not been proven credible and the investigation results have not yet been released. Even when investigative agencies announce a case, it becomes a disclosure of criminal facts. So, making definitive statements and labeling someone as a pervert or a bad person when nothing has been proven yet is problematic, especially when it happens on a lawyer's channel. This issue was also pointed out in the critique of the evidence. You, as a lawyer with nearly 500,000 subscribers and a channel with a lawyer title, can influence many people. Therefore, I think it is necessary to reflect on this survey and consider making improvements. I occasionally watch the channel of the lawyer I know, and one can organize their thoughts and criticize someone with significant social influence. Do you have to be without fault to criticize? If so, that's a double standard, and then no one would be able to criticize. I agree as well. It's not because I'm doing well that I criticize the lawyer I know. Using the same logic, if the lawyer I know criticized Kim Soo-hyun because of his social influence, then I too am criticizing the lawyer I know because he has nearly 500,000 subscribers and significant social influence as a lawyer. Therefore, as a director on the alternative lawyer side, I have a duty to look into matters that damage the rights and dignity of lawyers as a whole. I hope this is not a logic where one can evaluate others but cannot be evaluated themselves. Hence, there is the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated. If Kim Soo-hyun dated a minor, Kim Se-ro, then he deserves criticism. He is a celebrity, famous, and has social influence, so criticizing him is understandable, and I have no reason to intervene. He is not my client after all. However, if that is not the case, then the stone throwing seems a bit excessive. Why criticize dating a minor? It's because they are not adults, literally not yet adults. Since they are not adults, they are still immature in judgment and actions, and thus require the protection of adults, not exploitation. The highest law is the Constitution, right? Article 17 of the Constitution guarantees the privacy and freedom of individuals, and Article 10 usually outlines the conditions for our happiness. If one is an adult, they have the freedom to date whomever they choose. However, since minors are not yet adults and need protection, there is an exceptional prohibition on relationships between minors and adults for their happiness. But according to a survey by a lawyer I know, you are aware that 19 years old is considered an adult, right? According to the law, adulthood begins at 19 years old. I assume you are aware of this, and since it hasn't been revealed that the person is a minor, now it seems like the criticism is directed at adults. Dating older men, labeling it as perverse because they can't attract people their own age, and thus, for cost effectiveness, they judge adult relationships based on their own standards. I also saw comments from people who felt insulted, saying they dated from a young age, continued after becoming adults, and then got married. You can see your own comments, right? At 19, you're an adult. Whether you date someone a decade older, or someone twice that age, or someone almost the same age as your mother, it's an adult's choice and their responsibility. As far as I know, Leonardo DiCaprio is older than both Abe and me. He's in his 50s. Leonardo DiCaprio is famous for only dating models in their early 20s. However, Leonardo DiCaprio has fans all over the world. Could Abe conduct the same survey? Why does Leonardo DiCaprio only date models in their early 20s? Was it because he's a pervert? Is it because he doesn't appeal to women his own age and for cost effectiveness? Would a billionaire like Leonardo DiCaprio go and argue about it? Should Leonardo DiCaprio step down from movies because he dates women in their early 20s? Otherwise, such surveys are not conducted. If Mr. Abe were to conduct a survey and talk about Leonardo DiCaprio in such a manner, it would be reported as harassment on YouTube, malicious harassment, and his account would be suspended and removed. The claim that Kim Soo-hyun was taken down due to attacks from Ga Se-hyung is something that a lawyer who checks facts with professional ethics and expertise would not confirm. Yet, they are making it seem as if he is a pedophile or grooming minors, placing all the blame for Kim Se-ron's suicide on Kim Se-ron. Conducting a survey with options like because he's a pervert, doesn't appeal to peers, or for cost effectiveness, and then using it for public opinion polling seems extremely malicious. If it is later revealed that Ga Se-hyun's claim of dating a minor was false, as you may know, spreading false information and defamation, especially on a platform with nearly 500,000 subscribers, becomes a criminal issue. It is subject to aggravated punishment under the Information and Communications Network Act. Moreover, when YouTubers with a large number of subscribers face lawsuits for defamation, the impact can lead to even larger compensation amounts. Attorney Jin Gyo-hae publicly criticized first, but personally, I think it might have been better if they had contacted each other privately after a month to offer suggestions. However, since Attorney An has also posted many videos in a similar public critique style, I hope this can be a turning point for improvement. I'm not trying to mediate between the two, but I hope lawyer YouTubers can positively influence each other and maintain their dignity as lawyers. It's not easy to find both entertainment and usefulness at the same time. It needs to be somewhat entertaining and provocative for people to watch. Many fall into that temptation. So, what do you all think? Is everything Gyodae says 100% correct? Why does Lee Jin-ho keep attacking Kim Se-ron? And why did the lawyer post such a survey? Why did Assemblyman Jin Kyung-hyuk criticize this? And as a director of the Korean Bar Association, I emphasize the importance of lawyers' dignity and urge caution once again. If you found today's content helpful, please share it with others and don't forget to subscribe, like, and set up notifications. This has been Lawyer Moon Jong-Tak from Moon Jong-Tak TV. Thank you.